Hi, this video will take you through implementing educational policy plans for national aspiration. Now, the first thing you need to do is democratization of education. That is, education have to be inclusive, include everyone, giving opportunity to everyone to be part of having the knowledge, giving opportunity to everyone to be educated. And once this is done, it helps to enhance the economic growth and development. Now, again, we'll have to look at the manpower development. This is another method that could be used. When you're looking at the manpower development area, in this aspect, you have to look at the total number of manpower that is required in a particular sector. And looking at the total manpower that is required in a particular sector will give you the impetus of what type of education that will be provided, or the type of learning that will be provided to meet the manpower demand or the manpower requirement. And this is synonymous. There are different ways you could get this when you're looking at the manpower development. Maybe you could go through, take a questionnaire around the different industry organizations to find out the type of manpower that is very required, and that will guide and pave way on what is lacking and enable you to know what strategy, what plan need to be put in place, and what policies need to be put in place that will enhance manpower development. So we look at the employment and utilization of trained manpower. Now, you could have a way that, yes, you have manpower that have been developed, but how will you utilize this manpower? How are you going to use them to ensure that they are able to enhance, they are able to contribute their quota to what is to the economic growth or development? So in this case, you need to map out a plan. Map out a plan of utilizing the manpower that have been trained, so that they will know that if not, there will be the case of unemployment and making them not to be very useful. Because when you plan for them, it will make them useful. You're going to have this number of manpower at a certain time, then how are you going to engage them that they will become useful to results? Then we'll talk about the rural transformation. Planning too, in educational planning, where you plan, you have to look at the rural transformation as well, because it is not just developing the individual. Remember, it's equally developing the society. So when the society is going to be developed, then it will help to develop the rural environment. And in developing the society, the focus should not just be in the urban setting. So we could equally look at the rural. How will education help to influence? How will education help to enhance? How will education help to improve the development in the rural area? These are things that need to be considered when you are making a plan or policy in education. Then lastly, we look at the technological development. You'll see that, like we've heard in one of the videos, you discovered that when you're looking at the technology, education itself is dynamic. Education is very dynamic, and again, because it's dynamic, especially the way that it's being taught. Today we talk about technology, and technology is everywhere. And technology is what you use to drive education, not only in the classroom, even in the place of work. So if learning also is a continuum, when you're talking about education, we should look beyond just the classroom alone, because education happens everywhere. Education happens even in the place of work, you have education. So the way you could drive it is the technology. So what technology do you have in place? When you are making your plan for both planning and implementation, what is the technology that you want to use to deploy to make that plan to succeed, to make that plan to get to the goal that you need to get to? These are things that you need to consider when you are working on implementing educational policies and plan for national aspiration. Remember, we are looking at the national aspiration. So the technology must come in to be able to have that national aspiration. Remember, you must get through with the rural setting, and you must talk about the manpower, because you have trained. After you train, there must be a way for them to gain education, to gain employment. So when they are not employed, they become a nuisance. They will constitute nuisance. Instead of helping to develop, it will be a nuisance. So these are things you need to consider.